Yeah, a little bit of that. A little bit of that.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, and then there's a big fan. It works out.
Sign up for that.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Red Sox beat the Yankees. Shohei homers twice, and Steve Young joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin again today with the Tigers and the Guardians. The Tigers needed a win to advance, and they had a chance until the bottom of the eighth when the Guardians put up 5. Went on to win 6-1. This sets up a winner-take-all tomorrow afternoon. Wibon, what is your takeaway from this one?
Well, Tony, it's again pitching. And I know there are other dynamics in this game, and we'll get to them. Yesterday, it was Scooble. Today, Bybee got him into the fifth. He went 4 2/3. He gave up 1 earned, 5 hits, but 1 earned. And then you get these relief pitchers, 5 Guardians relief pitchers.
I thought you hated that.
Give up 2 hits.
I thought you wanted starters to go to the seventh and eighth.
I do, but I don't like bullpen days.
Oh, okay.
This was not a bullpen day.
It became
that. But Bybee goes out there. He starts the capable guy.
Yeah.
And they depend on him. And he gets him at least into the fifth. And then they go with the relievers. It's still pitching October baseball. Those games yesterday sort of led into the beginning of this game. I know it got out of hand with the home runs that Cleveland hit.
Yeah.
But 3-1, 3-1, 2-1, 3 of the games yesterday and now.
Here's what I would say about this game. This is exactly the way the series should play out. It should be 1-1.
Yeah.
There should be a winner-take-all game between these two teams. And you get what happened today was you get the big bang home run in the bottom of the eighth, and you say to yourself, okay, that's all we're going to get. We got to see, do we have a closer? All we need is 3 outs. Can we exhale at some point? But then they get more runs, more home runs, more runs. So then it becomes very, very easy. The difference between this game and the game before, yesterday's game, was that the pitching, the Scooble pitching, and all of that lasted longer into the game. But to me, this is sort of the way this series is supposed to go. Because I know you don't want to hear this, that it's regional, even though I think it's regional. But you get the sense that you're sort of in a loop. This is the 8th game we've seen with these two teams in
I was fine with
weeks.
this series. I didn't want to see it right away. I didn't want to see it in the first round, but we got it in the first round.
Let me go to one play.
Okay.
Because it changes the game.
I know what you're going to get to.
This is the throw to third base. It's a 1-1 game. And the Tigers are going to third base, and a run is going to score. It's going to be 2-1. You're going to have a man on third in a 2-1 game with 2 outs or 1 out, whatever it is. And there's a replay of the slide. And the player slides, and his right hand is going to be safe on the base, but it doesn't hit the base. His left hand hits the base. The tag is put on him. After watching the replay, they reversed the call, which was a safe call.
Did you change your mind?
No, I didn't. I thought he was out all along.
Yeah.
I thought he was out all along. They reverse that, and they take away the run. So now instead of a 2-1 game or maybe more, it's 1-1, and Cleveland is still in the game.
Let me ask you one other thing. There's a bigger issue than that one play. How are you on 3 straight games, all 3 games in one city? How are you on that?
You earned it. You earn it. I mean, especially if you're in the same division. You beat that team, you win it, you earn it.
And Cleveland overtook
I'm good with that.
Detroit.
I'm good with that.
I'm certainly good with that in this series.
Of course you
overtook
because you got the Cubs that way. So you earn it.
Yeah, sort of. Let's move to last night's playoff games, beginning with Boston's 3-1 win over the Yanks. Red Sox starter Garrett Crochet struck out 11 and at one point retired 17 straight Yankees. For his part, New York's Max Fried held Boston scoreless through 6 1/3, but the floodgates opened after Aaron Boone pulled Fried, his ace, in favor of a shaky bullpen. We knew it was shaky. Tony, are you crediting Crochet for the Sox win, or are you blaming Booney for the quick hook?
Yeah, and have a sandwich. I'm going to talk for a while. I'm crediting Crochet. Okay, Crochet goes out there. He throws a career-high 117 pitches. He gives up a home run in the second inning and nothing else, and he strikes out 11. Had Tarek Skubal not pitched earlier in the day and done the same thing, allowed 1 run, go deep in the game, and strike out 14, we'd only be talking about Crochet. All right, and by the way, that's a tough vote for AL Cy Young.
It is.
That's a tough
really
vote.
hard.
So now, why am I'm supposed to blame Boone because he took out Fried?
I thought it was too quick in real time. What did you
Okay, no, I did. I'm going to tell you this. I thought in the fourth inning and the 5th inning, they began to get to Fried a little bit, though not on the scoreboard. I thought the last pitch he threw, which resulted in that 3-1 out at first base, I thought that ball was hit very hard. I had no problem in the moment going to the bullpen, except it's a 4.37 ERA. Look, that reliever spit the bit That's okay. If you
but
stay
you don't
with
think
Fried,
Max Fried is going to spit the bit?
if you stay with Fried, he's thrown 102 pitches. If you leave him in for 10 more pitches, he's got the most he's pitched all year. I guess you could do it. I'm just saying I had no problem at the time. That's not the play of the game. That's not what matters. What matters is in the bottom of the ninth, the Yankees get bases loaded with how many out, Mike?
Load 'em up.
With nobody out.
Nobody out.
And they don't
They're also
score.
facing one of the great closers of all time.
Now 53 years old. But okay.
What was his last pitch?
Okay,
101.
All right.
Okay.
So Stanton gets up and strikes out. Yeah. Do you think about pinch hitting for him and putting a contact hitter up there? I don't know. Then you have the fly to right field, and you hold the runner at third. You got to go. First of all, the throw is up the line.
He went. It's on contact.
The throw is up the line. He didn't go. He held back. He could have scored. The important thing is to get the runner from second to third because that's the tying run. That's the tying run.
It is. You want to get that runner over.
I talked like crazy.
But you did. But
fine. I don't blame you.
This is an I-95 series. These are your teams. Let me go back to one thing. Let's go back to Max Fried. We just talked about this with Crochet. He went 117. I know that wasn't a career high. Now
117 was a career high.
Is it a career high?
For Crochet.
As much as I like Bybee getting into the fifth, Crochet going 117.
Yes.
You got to leave Fried out there.
I don't know.
I don't know that two hard-hit balls are going to get me, and I'm not a guy who criticizes Booney. I love Booney.
At that moment, did you think he went too soon?
Yes.
At that moment, I did not. Because righties are coming up.
But especially the guy you got out there, your opposite number. You know Crochet's going to stay out there, and the Red Sox are not going to remove him and go to the pen.
But righties are coming up. Do you want lefty-righty? No, you don't. Not to me. Not to me. We stay with baseball. Baseball's great at this point in time. We go to last night's late game where the Dodgers hit 5 home runs. They buried the Reds 10-5. Both Shohei Ohtani and Teoscar Hernandez hit 2 home runs. Shohei set the tone by hitting a leadoff home run in the bottom of the first inning. Blake Snell won 7 innings. That's the most he's ever gone in postseason play. Wibon, what did last night's results say to you?
The Dodgers are just so much better. It didn't say anything that we didn't think yesterday. We talked about who among the Dodgers
and the
Yankees was vulnerable. We both said the Yankees. Well, it played out, and then that was no game.
That's right.
I know. I was going to call you, except I know when it got to 5-0, you were night-night Steph Curry. I know it was night-night. So I didn't even bother. And I decided to go to the WNBA game, which had some juice to it, because that game didn't. Because Shohei walks up there, tight end that he is.
Beast.
And he hits it out. And the second, you said to me, the first home run was great. No, the second home run had to go travel further. Yeah. It was Ruthian, and he does this. And when he's in the leadoff position, it can be demoralizing for the opponent. And Cincinnati's not good enough.
No,
that's my takeaway.
So this is the only series. If you asked me to bet on one series that I thought would go 2, this was the series, one that I would have
Dodgers
bet on.
Quickly.
Because I think that the Dodgers are demonstrably better in almost every way than Cincinnati. I'm happy Cincinnati's there. We're happy for Terry Francona.
I am too.
But this is the end of the road for them. I'll just give you a couple of numbers here. Dodgers won 93 games this year. Cincinnati won 83. Dodgers have 3 hitters who hit 25 or more home runs. And they got 2 guys who hit 20 or more. That's a total of 5. Cincinnati's got a 21 and a 22. The Dodgers have 5 regulars who hit at least 270. Cincinnati doesn't have any. The offensive circumstance here is
more talent.
Okay, but
they go out
and here's their Achilles heel,
and they both trade for, sign, and develop.
Okay,
they do all of it.
And here's their Achilles heel.
What?
The end of that game, their bullpen in 2 innings allowed 3 runs and 4 walks. You cannot do that.
Well, they do.
You can't have 4 walks.
They do. The Dodgers and the Yankees both have some bullpen issues as we look at those series.
Yeah.
So, but the Dodgers, we both love to see Terry Francona in a position where he's in the postseason. But they're going night-night soon, too, for the whole series.
Yeah, the Dodgers.
Let me just say this. If the Dodgers even go 3, the panic in the streets of L.A. will be amazing.
Well, we don't. Neither of us think it's going to go through.
We don't.
Let's take a break. Coming up, can the Giants teach Jackson Dart to avoid so many hits? We will ask Steve Young.
We'll also ask him why turf toe has such a hugely negative impact on quarterbacks.
I love this baseball because I watched a team that can't do this. Right? A team that won like 65
Baseball's great
games.
because we're not going to talk about Jerry Jones every day on this show. We're not doing that on this show. You can turn elsewhere and get
Pardon?
We have some NFL questions for our great friend and the man whose spiral I tightened up in a one-on-one session in the summer of 1987.
Wow.
Hall of Fame quarterback Steve Young. Let's start with Jackson Dart. He seemed to bring a different dimension to the Giants, but he got hit 25 times, Steve. 6 sacks, 9 more hits in the pocket, and 10 times on runs. Can you teach a young quarterback how not to take hits?
Yeah, don't play is the first if you don't want to get hit. But the thing about young quarterbacks is their mind is clearer because it hasn't been the first offseason when the coaches just pour stuff onto a quarterback, especially if they're going to play a lot. And that's when things get really confusing. So he's got a purity of his game right now where it's like, look, just go with your instinct, go with what you know. And it's kind of a fake it till you make it kind of an environment where you don't really know what you're doing, but you know enough. And so then it becomes, okay, how much do I put myself at risk? And I don't think a young quarterback does a great job of navigating that. It takes time to realize that you want to play for a long time and how to get to the ground and what's worth it and what's not worth it. And when you're young, you're like, everything's worth it. Like, I'm in. And I think that's the danger of a young player, especially a dynamic player like Jackson, who has now the excitement of the city. He's walking around today downtown in Manhattan, walking, yeah, you're the man, Jackson. You're the king. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, I got to do more of that. So it's a tender walk right now with a young quarterback.
Steve, Brock Purdy has been hampered by turf toe and is now been declared out for the upcoming game. Of course, you know what, Joe Burrow is out for forever and a day with a toe injury. I don't remember you missing time with an injured toe, but take us through this and what it does to a quarterback, a toe injury.
Yeah, I mean, it's the ligament of the big toe. And if you think about, like, if he's righty, so it's on his right foot, and that's the plant foot. Think about standing on your heel off of your toes and trying to jump. You can't even get air. So the whole throw is really through your right big toe, if you want to think about it that way. And so for Brock, you saw him last week, he had to stay off of it. So what you do is you start your throwing motion, you can't dig in with your toe, so you come over the top like a catapult, right? And then all of a sudden the throws are high, they're not as crisp, and it's like you have to manage. Now look, people play hurt all the time, so you manage it. You have to figure it out. But you know that, like your thumb on a throwing hand, the big toe and the thumb are kind of related in how much drama there is in trying to overcome an injury like that.
Your Niners face the Rams tomorrow night, and Puka Nacua has 42 catches through 4 games. I know he's in the wrong jersey now, but he was in the jersey you guys shared at one point, both BYU guys. What are you seeing in Puka Nacua that makes him so effective, and how does he just burst on like this basically in a season plus?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Because it's the subtleties of Puka. He's a big boy. Like, he's a big man. Like, he's somebody that he's up against people he's maybe 15, 20 pounds heavier than, but yet has the subtlety of movement that usually the smaller guys can catch up, or they can overwhelm you with speed or change of direction. But Puka's so smooth that he's running routes and they're late. Even though they might be slightly faster, they're late to Puka. And he has hands that are like Jerry Rice. Like, if it's near, I have it. It's mine. And there's like he like a vacuum almost. So to me, Puka is that person that I think a lot of people overlooked because you can't really understand it till he's on the field. And when you watch him, he kind of defies the eye, and it's his size and smooth, how smooth he is, that kind of fools you. And all of a sudden he's in the end zone. And I think he's going to have a career like none other. He's amazing. He's dominant as a second, third year guy. He's a dominant wide receiver right now.
Steve, we will get you out of here on this. The Chiefs have gone from 0-2 now to 2-2. You played on a Niners team that was so good for so long. Do you always assume you'll be good, or are there times when you have doubts?
You get used to having, Jim Nance and Tony Romo come in on Friday or Saturday. You get used to being the game of the week. You get used to every game is important. You get used to everybody you play is their homecoming game where they're like super focused and fired up and super motivated. You get weird comments from defenders that say, I'm going to hit him harder this week because, and so you get used to all of that focus, and that builds a muscle. and a muscle that doesn't just go away. Now, what happens, Tony, to your point, there's an ebb and flow, especially in free agency. There's an ebb and flow every year of who you have. But one thing is for sure, if you consistency and ownership of a focus of being great, which the Hunts are, you have a coach that is as an innovative and reinvents himself over and over and over again, continuously, never gets old. In Andy Reid, there's that consistency of message, of values, of what you're gonna, who you are, and then you build a locker room like it. You can take changeover, and I don't think it's doubt necessarily. You say, do you have doubts? You just have some ebbs and flows of excellence, and you have to kind of work through them. And I think that they've done that through the years, and that's the great teams. You know, the Eagles have done that. The 49ers have done that. The Rams are doing it. Like, there's teams that have kind of gone through the machinations of it all. And because of the values and what I told you as the kind of underpinnings of foundation, it's never goes away. You can still build off of it, especially when you have the best quarterback in football, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say you need to mention Mahomes at some point.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve, as always. Much
Appreciate it,
thanks.
Steve.
Okay. See you, boys.
Let's take one last break. Still to come, the Browns make